Consumer Reports is sounding the alarm about a popular lunch option. It says Lunchables tested high for lead and excessive sodium in its products, and it's raising red flags. Brian Ronholm with Consumer Reports is joining us via Zoom this morning. Good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Great to be with you, Jen. Thank you.
Ron, let's look, because you tested Lunchables, but also some other lunch kits as well. So let's start, please, if you could kind of help us better understand what Consumer Reports discovered. We've got it up on our screen right now, specifically focusing on 3 different Lunchables.
Sure thing. So when you look at these results, it's kind of astounding that a product like this could be made available to the school lunch program. Because as you can see, a lot of these have high levels of lead and also have high levels of sodium. And these are products that are very small serving sizes. So you're already putting kids at a disadvantage when they're consuming it because they're already taking up a large portion of the sodium intake on a daily basis and also what's allowable for lead.
74% as we were looking at those. Can you just remind our viewers of, the consequences of having, of lead, particularly among young children and ingesting that, as well as, of course, we know about the dangers of sodium?
That's right. So the key thing to remember about lead is there are no safe levels, especially as it relates to kids. And of course, this accumulates over time because lead is naturally occurring. So it's going to end up in a lot of food products and even in our water. So you're consuming it all the time. So it's best to try to limit as much as possible. So when you become aware of these lead readings, you want to avoid them. And since they're not safe for kids, the limits that we use are the one that's most allowable, the most protective, which is the California standard.
Yeah, and I'd like to just do some comparison if we could, because you tested other lunch kits and snack kits. For example, we have also what was discovered with Oscar Mayer products.
That's right. So there are versions of these kits that have lower readings than the ones that are available in the school lunch program. But I think it's really important to remember that these are really small serving sizes. So you're just really at a disadvantage right off the bat with these high readings of sodium and lead, even at these lower levels, because they accumulate throughout the day when you're consuming other products. And so you're really at a disadvantage.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting, too, just because, the reality is as you point out, it's not just one source, but there's other sources that kids may, ingest this. While we're talking and just I want to kind of continue on with this, I would like to show our viewers at home the results of this is Armor Lunch Makers as well. And then we also have P3. Just to give some perspective, those first ones, the Armor Lunch Makers, I believe it was, had higher than what you're seeing on the screen here. And P3, it appears to have done the best in your test with lead, focusing on lead 10%, and then also lead 7% with the other snack kit that's offered. Now, we do know, Ron, that last year Lunchables were made available in school cafeterias for the snack to qualify under, of course, the federal health standards. Kraft Heinz, which makes the products, makes Lunchables, did make adjustments. So are the school lunch versions any better?
Unfortunately not, especially as it relates to sodium. So when they made those adjustments to meet the guidelines, what they ended up doing was increasing the sodium content for these products. So they've essentially become sodium bombs because there's just taking up such a high percentage of the recommended daily intake for sodium. And it's especially important for kids because their bodies are still developing. And so you're already putting them at a disadvantage by putting such high sodium content in such a small serving size.
Brian, thank you. We appreciate your perspective on this and the investigation, certainly by Consumer Reports. At the end of the day, the reality is this is perfectly legal. It's, there's this aligns with USDA in terms of with this lead. I know that Consumer Reports is working now to petition the USDA to kind of get involved. I do, out of fairness, want to go ahead and read a statement from Kraft Heinz also, which says that the company has taken steps to make Lunchables more nutritious. Many of our Lunchables products are a good source of protein, offering nutrients through meats and cheeses, according to this statement. All of our foods meet strict safety standards that we happily feed to our own families. We're proud of Lunchables and stand by the quality and integrity that goes into making them. We, as a news agency, like to arm you with information and give you all of the information and the facts, so you be the one to judge also what you think is best for your children when it comes to whether or not you should feed them any of these lunches or snack kits.